What is going on, guys? Welcome back. My name is Wolfe Glick and I'm the 2016 Pokemon World Champion, and today I'm doing a guide on a Pokemon called Eevee. So for those of you who don't know, Eevee is really unique in that it gets a truly unique move, a new Z move, basically, called Extreem Evoboost, which basically, if Eevee has Last Resort and is holding the EVMZ, so Last Resort and is holding the EVMZ, it basically boosts all of its stats, not its evasion or accuracy, but attack, defense, special defense, speed, by 2 stages. So basically, it's very similar to how Geomancy worked last season, except that Eevee is not Xerneas. But other than that, it's very, very similar. It's a very powerful boosting move. And even though it doesn't have a ton of competitive use, I wanted to kind of showcase Eevee because Eevee's super cute and I like it a lot. And it's just an overall cool Pokemon, and Extreem Evoboost is definitely like an interesting move. And yeah, overall, it's very, very, very interesting, but the thing is that this isn't going to be in the normal style of my normal guides. If you guys have followed my channel, you've seen that I've been doing like a lot of these guides on how to use Pokemon, and the thing is, Eevee only really has one set. Like, it only really has the Extreem Evoboost set with these, like, the moves can vary a little bit. This last slot can be something else, this helping hand slot, but, for the most part, there's not really a lot of, like, there's not really a lot of places you can go when designing these sets, so I decided to do this video in a slightly different manner than I normally do, and then I built a whole team for you guys, and this is just like a sample like core, basically, of 4 Pokemon that you guys can throw together to use versus your friends if you just kind of want to mess around and have a good time, and use some silly Pokemon and some cool strategies, because honestly, it's like very gimmicky, but it's honestly hard to beat. So that's why there's only one Eevee here. I know you guys normally are used to seeing like three or 4 or 5 of the Pokemon that I cover, or the sets of the Pokemon that I cover. But Eevee is a little different. I hope you guys understand. And to compensate for the fact that I'm only giving you guys one set, I've played some replays with this team, just like low ladder, kind of like just for fun. But I wanted to make sure it actually worked, and I did some testing to tweak some stuff, tweak some move choices and stuff. So yeah, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Eevee. Basically, here's the way it works. The main strategy here is you want to use Last Resort to use EVMZ, and once you've gotten your boost, you want to Baton Pass. You could Psych Up, but you probably want to Baton Pass out. You say, I've had enough of this fight, I'm out, and you give it to somebody else. So the general strategy here is you want to use Eevee. Eevee is the main Pokemon of the strategy to boost your stats, and then peace out. So in terms of Eevees, you basically in terms of Eevees, you basically just want to make sure that Eevee survives long enough to Baton Pass. So I've maximized speed because I wanted Eevee to outspeed, first of all, Choice Scarf Smeargle, we're going to come to that later, and also Pheromosa at max speed. So you need not a max speed, but you need quite a bit to do that at +2, because Pheromosa hits 223 stat boosted, which is like really fast. So you could probably go down to 112 if you wanted and put these Eevees in defense. Yeah, you can do this if you wanted, but the overall, I ran the calcs and it's not R444. It doesn't make a huge difference overall, so that's why I just did max speed, just to be safe, because you never know what random Choice Scarf Pokemon people were running. Max HP is just to, like, maximize its overall bulk, and even though Eevee's stats aren't that great, this should probably be Jolly anyways, even though Eevee's stats aren't that great, it's really supplemented well by Clefairy, which is kind of the king of setup support Pokemon, because it has Follow Me to redirect and has Heal Pulse and has some other cool moves as well. I'm personally using Minimize in this 4th slot, but it gets Friend Guard, which basically gives Eevee a free Light Screen and Reflect, which is really, really good, and it can redirect any single target attacks away from Eevee. So basically, the idea with Clefairy is to survive as long as possible using its Eviolite, and also using its Friend Guard to support Eevee. Eevee's Eevee partnered with an Eviolite. This is really crazy, guys. I'm sorry. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Anyways, that's basically the general idea. Clefairy and Eevee are almost always the leads, unless you have like something very weird against you. And yeah, just general idea is Follow Me, Protect, and Heal Pulse to support Eevee, and Minimize just in case it's a Trick Room, or in case you have some free turns and you just want to be like give them like another thing to focus on. Because if you go Minimize and Follow Me, it can be really annoying for your opponent. Clefairy is good again because spread moves are less strong in VGC, taking a 3/4 reduction to their like original base power, which is like pretty significant. And then you pair that with a 1.3 times special defense boost and defense boost for Eevee. Those numbers, if you guys know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter. Like basically, Clefairy Clefairy makes Eevee hard to get rid of and a lot bulkier than it is. And then, so the whole point of the strategy to set up for Tapu Lele, you could use another item here. You could use like a Fairy Plate or a Life Orb or something to boost your damage output, but I chose Leftovers just because you're also getting a boost to defense and special defense, as well as your speed and special attacks, so you're also a lot harder to get rid of. So That's why I personally went with the leftovers, but you can also go Life Orb, Fairy Plate, Psychic Plate, lots of options there. Terrain Extender, theoretically, but I don't personally like Terrain Extender here, but yeah, there are tons of options that you can go here. Tapu Lele is 100% of your offense. Like, if Tapu Lele goes down, you lose, but this game, like, the way you're playing this team is very much protect the Eevee, protect the Tapu Lele, and then just win, because +2 Psychic does a lot of damage. +2 Dazzling Gleam does a lot of damage. I didn't need to mess with these stats because, basically, at +2, this is already outspeeding max speed Pheromosa, and that's one of the fastest non-choice scarf Pokemon you're gonna encounter. When the metagame develops more, you could theoretically add more speed here and take out a special attack. It's not super important. If you ever get outsped by something weird, just take some out of special attack and then add that to the speed. I just didn't want to add it for no reason, because at +2 you're hitting 230 speed stat, which is like very, 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 very fast. So Moonblast and Psychic are your strongest moves, and Dazzling Gleam is just good to have a spread move because all of your offense is coming from Tapu Lele, so you're gonna, like, even though you don't need Dazzling Gleam on most Tapu Lele sets normally, on this set I think you do. And then that just brings us to Choice Scarf Smeargle, everyone's favorite Pokemon. Spore, Fake Out, Follow Me, and Transform. General idea here is if Clefairy goes down before you're ready to, like, if like Clefairy goes down in Trick Room and you need to protect Tapu Lele more, you can go for Follow Me. You don't really need Fake Out, I feel like, but it comes in handy sometimes. And Transform and Spore are both good to have options. You'll see Transform do some work in one of our battles that I'm going to show you. So the only calc that I ran here, I kind of walked you guys through. Smeargle needs max speed with Choice Scarf. You could take some out of speed, but I think with a Choice Scarf Pokemon, I want it to be max speed, and then max HP is best for Transform because you keep the HP stat when you Transform. Tapu Lele, I explained. Clefairy, I ran this calc. I just wanted to make sure that Thunderbolt was a 3 at KO. Yeah. That was what that calc was for. So with all that in mind, guys, let's just go ahead and I'm just going to show you guys a battle that I played. I played 2 battles, so this is the first one. So my opponent has, the little icons aren't showing up here for me, but I'll just tell you what they are. They are Golisopod, which is this, and Tapu Koko, which is this question mark. You can read them here. So he leads Arcanine and Talonflame, and because I'm not too worried about like either of these Pokemon like doing anything to Eevee, I'm just gonna go ahead and he goes for Helping Hand, but I go Follow Me, and he actually goes for a U-turn, probably expecting that might be Choice Band Talonflame. That's what I thought at that point, and I thought maybe that Helping Hand U-turn would KO Eevee, but he didn't think about Follow Me. So turn 1 went really well. We Follow Me'd away the attack. We didn't take much damage, and we got a free Baton Pass off turn 2. So as you can see, we go for Follow Me, Baton Pass. Here he doesn't go for First Impression, but Snarl comes out, which is actually pretty bad because it lowers our special attack stat. So that's, like, overall not the best. And he goes for Rock Slide, misses Tapu Lele. Not going to be a huge deal, but he does crit Clefairy. So there's leftovers again. So right now we're in a pretty good position, except for the fact that he is, in fact, able to Snarl and lower a special attack stat, which is actually pretty bad. So let's see what we do. So I assumed +1 Psychic with KO, and I was very wrong. But as you can see, thanks to the boost to Tapu Lele's special defense stat, that attack did nothing, especially with Friend Guard. You can see he waved at 7.9%, and that's kind of what I was talking about with spread moves not being as strong. And because I expected him to go for single target moves and not, or like to target into Clefairy or go for single target moves, and because we're so bulky on Tapu Lele, I didn't go for Follow Me this turn, instead went for Minimize, and it paid off pretty well, except we got burned. That's the only downside. So this turn, because he just used Y-Guard last turn, I was like, there's no way he Y-Guards again because I just Psychic. So I went for Dazzling Gleam. He goes Protecting Golisopod, really cool Pokemon, but unfortunately Emergency Exit is a terrible ability. So I just went Dazzling Gleam because I thought it would KO Arcanine and Minimize. So now I'm +4 on Minimize. So this turn, what was I worried about? Oh, I wasn't sure if Dazzling Gleam would KO, so I just wanted to be safe and get rid of the Arcanine because the Tapu Koko wasn't super threatening. And I just went for Protect because I thought it was good to keep Clefairy around. First Impression there, cool animation. And actually, I didn't, so for those of you guys who didn't know, First Impression does go before Follow Me. It is very high priority. I don't know exactly what the priority is, but it's really fast. So Moonblast does crit here, as you can see, but it doesn't actually matter unless he's running a lot of bulk, but +1 Moonblast should always KO. And this turn, he couldn't protect Golisopod because, sorry, I didn't expect him to have Protecting Golisopod because he had Wide Guard, so I just went Follow Me, Psychic into Golisopod, not worrying about it, just like getting rid of it, and then because I had Smeargle as the last one, here, I could just go Follow Me and exactly redirect the attack and then Psychic to pick up the KO on Talonflame. So that was game 1. Yeah. That was game 1, so let's just go ahead and jump into game 2. I like this one as well. This guy is, so this guy has the 3 Pokemon you can't see are Kartana, Tapu Lele, and Togedemaru, all 3 of which I have guides on. So if you want to know how to use those Pokemon, check them out on my channel. So same leads here. Eevee and Clefairy, like I said, are almost always going to be the leads. And I figured I could take a Smart Strike. So if he had been Life Orb, that would have been bad. We might want to Eevee for that in the future. But yeah, we did lose Clefairy turn 1 this game, which is very different than the last game. So Eevee's going to go ahead and get a nice boost off and then say peace out. And I mentioned earlier why that it was important to have Eevee outspeed Smeargle. It's because you can do Baton Pass into Tapu Lele and then transform, which is what we just did. And he wasn't expecting that, so he went for a stronger move, which was Leaf Blade. He was like very worried about Smeargle there, as you can see. Probably has flashbacks to VGC 2016. But now we've got double boosted Tapu Lele, and one of them is Choice Scarf. So I just went double Dazzling Gleam because I wanted to, and because I wanted to lock Smeargle into Dazzling Gleam, because basically we can get both. And he forgets about Psychic Terrain, unfortunately, so he does go for a Fake Out, but I honestly don't think it mattered at this point. I think regardless of what he did, he was going to take, even if he went for like a Nuzzle or a Poison Jab, like he was in trouble. So as you can see, Dazzling Gleam will pick up the KO on every single Pokemon in existence. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I only have 2 replays for you here. I hope you don't mind. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please let me know. Please leave a like if you thought that was interesting, because obviously this is pretty different than what I normally do in terms of guides and team building, but I hope this was interesting. If you're interested, I will leave the importable of this team from the paste bin in the description down below. So if you don't want to go through and painstakingly type all the EVs and the moves and stuff, you can just click on the link to the actual sets, and then you can just paste them into your showdown and try this team for yourself. So if you like this video, please make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. Let me know if you want me to do more of these combinations. I have a lot of kind of gimmicky combinations I personally think are really fun that I would love to cover, but if you guys don't like them, then I won't do them. So thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.